Hey, how's it going? So, right now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to be working on this thing here, which is called the bench hook. And so, you want to get this piece out. It's the thing that looks like a Z. Um, we, right now, are going to get this thing ready for us to do some work with it. So it is kind of like a tool. So we need to prepare it. How we're going to do that is by using sandpaper. We have three different types of sandpaper. We have a 60 grit, which is the most coarse. We have an 80 grit, which is kind of in the middle. And then we have 120, which also is sort of kind of in the middle, but a little bit finer than 80. So all of these are going to be what we can use for sanding. Now, if you haven't used sandpaper before, no big deal. It's pretty straightforward. A couple different things you can do. One is, if you wanted to, you can break off or bend a little piece of it so you don't use the whole thing, you only use part of it. And you can cut that off. Maybe I've got like maybe an inch or so here of the 60. And we're not going to throw this away. We're going to fold it in half, and we're going to put it in our hands here. We're going to start with the most coarse grain. So we'll start with 60, and we're just going to do a once over on your piece. You're going to go with the grain, so you'll see the lines here, how they are, how they're facing. You're going to go with the grain. We're not going to go across the grain, except for on the corners. Well, we'll go over that in a second. So basically, go back and forth. You're going to cover the whole thing. You're going to do the same thing with the 80 and then 120. Now, when you come to the corners, what you can do is, I would probably, when you're going to sand the corners, is I would probably use the you could start with the 60, but put it down on the bench here, and you can move your piece back and forth across the top like that. And that's going to be able to sort of take the edge off a little bit on that, and that way it also stays straight. When we're sanding with this, with these pieces, we don't want to have it bumpy or go up and down. We want to keep things straight. That's kind of one of the things that you guys are going to be working on, is just trying to make things straight. Go through like that, and then you can do the same thing and then go to your 80 across here, and so on and so on, and work your way around. You don't have to go in. You want to just take the edge off a little bit, round it. You can see sort of how that looks right there. Okay, and then just smooth that out so that looks really nice. And again, try and get them as even as possible. Let me do that a little better. You'll see how I do it. Okay. And so then we have a nice corner on that. So yeah, that's basically it. Go ahead and sand your bench hook. Work through the grits. Cut off a small piece. Don't throw these away. You're going to be using them for the rest of the course. Just a little piece at a time is going to be enough for you, and then you can reuse this over and over and over again. All right, great. Good luck, and have fun.